Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel, Fix It or Not. Today we're going to have a look at this Logitech Trackball mouse. It's a M570. I had this for quite some time and I really like the Trackball mouse. I realize most of the people out there probably don't, but once you get used to using one, you'll really never go back. Anyway, this thing is probably, well, it's pretty old. It's probably 2008, 2009 vintage, somewhere around there. But anyway, it's got a couple of problems with it. The little wheel right here, as I'm sure some of y'all have seen, if you can hear that, it's really sticky and gummy. So we're going to try to clean that up. And then another problem is I think this switch here has gotten a little dirty over time. We'll try to clean that up, because what happens is when you switch this on, we're going to switch this and you'll see it has a little light right here that if we kind of wiggle, I'm kind of wiggling that switch and the light just went out and there it just flashed. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see it kind of flashing as I'm wiggling the switch. So we're gonna disassemble this thing, clean it up, and fix it, or not. So let's get started. We'll take the back out, take out the battery, and there is one screw that hides right here, so we're going to take that out, and I think there might be one or two under these little rubber feet. That's why you never really force things. You just kind of bend on it a little bit, stretch on it, pull on it. You know, if it doesn't want to give right away, then you know you need to explore a little further for maybe other screws or a little snappy thing or something like, look at there. Now, we're coming apart. And there's what we got. So, we're going to work on this little switch that's on the back here first. It's right there. And we may have to take the little board out to get to the back side of that switch. It's looking like we're going to have to, because it's probably underneath the board. Set the housing, the base aside. We'll flip this over carefully, and there's our little switch right there. Right there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get a little contact cleaner. We're going to spray it on that. I like to use this because this is what I had around. So we're going to spray just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit right on that switch. Just, that's all it should need. Now, I'm going to use my long skinny pliers here and kind of work that switch back and forth a little bit. Now we'll put it in the other position and we'll give it another little spray, just a tiny bit, That should be all it takes. That stuff is really thin and it runs right in there, and it does evaporate really rapidly. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see if we had success with this until we get it all back together. Now, since we're in here, we'll clean it up a little bit. You always clean stuff up. I do anyway. Makes it look like you did something, and sometimes cleaning stuff up is all you need to do to fix it. So, I think we're pretty good on that. We'll even take this opportunity. This is the little socket for our ball to rotate in. It's got the little sensor right there that somehow reads the pattern on this ball. Not real sure how it does it. But anyway, that's how it tells. And then it's got these three, 1, 2, 3 little, I don't know what they are, but they're basically frictionless, so because the ball just sits on those and it rolls really freely. Anyway, that's how that works. So, and don't let your ball roll off. So we'll go ahead and tilt this over and kind of clean it out just a little bit. Just so we start out with a nice clean unit. And then we'll follow all that up with just a little blast. All right, that should be good enough on that for now. Pretty confident that that's going to fix the switch, but only, well, we'll just have to wait and see on that. Now, this is probably something that you've all encountered before. You got this really it's sticky. It's really not a big deal because it really doesn't come off on your fingers. It just doesn't feel good. So what we're going to do, what we're going to try first is a little isopropyl alcohol, the strong stuff, 91%. And we're going to use a little piece of gauze. I was in the hospital recently and they sent me home with a bunch of this stuff, so we're going to try using that to put our alcohol on to try to clean that little wheel. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. We're trying to avoid removing this wheel. It looks kind of complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold this on this side and like roll the wheel. And we'll see what happens. We'll see how clean that gets it. We'll go back and forth a few times. We'll move our cloth around on the wheel. Make sure we get full contact with it all the way around. You can see there's still dirt sticking to it, if you could see that go by. So now we've rolled it a little bit. We got a little bit of, just a little bit of discoloration on our pad there. So now let's see. Once this alcohol dries, which doesn't take long at all, clean my fingers off a little bit here so that they're nice and clean. If you'll look, that is no longer shiny at all, not even a little bit, and it is not sticky like it was. It's just tacky, like rubber should be, to give you the grip. So I'm going to say that that's in pretty good shape. You know, that's something you could probably even do without taking the thing apart if you were careful, you know, because you can get to most of it up here. Just use your little, I don't know how effective that would be, maybe going across it like that if you don't take it apart. You know, something like that would probably get the job done. But we want to be thorough, so we don't have to do it again. So we'll come on this side and kind of wrap it around the wheel just a little bit and roll it some more. It only took a few seconds to do this, and it was super sticky. I didn't even want to use it anymore. Okay, now if you can watch that as it dries, it is no longer even slightly shiny. So it doesn't stick to my finger at all anymore. It feels just like my other one, just like this one. This one's every bit as old, but I use it all the time. I think that has something to do with it. If you store something like this for a while, then evidently some kind of environmental factors affect this rubber or whatever this stuff is, and make it get soft and gooey. And so I think you just need to clean like a little layer of it off, and the isopropyl alcohol seemed to do a really good job. Other people use acetone and other things, and that stuff's kind of rude. You have to be really careful with it, because it'll eat stuff up. So we'll brush a little bit more dust off of this thing and see what we can get done here as far as getting it back together, see if it works or not. We do need to make sure that our switch, yes, switch went right where it's supposed to be. Little switch on the bottom. Oops. Yes, that's fully functional. Okay, now we're ready to put our housing back on there. You got to make sure that this thing, the little deal that holds the ball, is in its proper position. Oh, I see, it's got a tooth right there and a corresponding slot right there, and it kind of fits in there just like so. Just like so, right? Got to make sure you get that in right there. Okay. All right. Now, we'll see if this fits right back on there like it's supposed to. Yes, and look at there. Perfect. Fits great. Okay. Now. Okay. Now, we'll put our battery in there, and we'll turn it on. It's on. You can see the little light right there. Before, when we would wiggle the switch, the light would flash. Now the light no longer flashes. Okay, so I think we fixed it. Well, there you have it, folks. That, I know this video might seem a little long, but it really doesn't take a whole lot of effort to fix these kind of things. Sometimes you just got to kind of be shown where to start, and really you can just take it from there. One more thing about is the ball itself. I like to occasionally kind of clean the ball, you know. This has still got just a little bit of alcohol left on it on this piece of gauze here. So I'm just kind of rolling it around. And then what you do is you just kind of roll it around in your hands for a while. And it picks up the oil from your skin. Very important. If you just stick this in here with it just dry from the alcohol, it won't roll very good at all. So just that little bit of oil from your skin, I'm sure you can hear that. So now we're good to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of thing, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And I hope you folks have a great day, and God bless you.